All right. Hey, what's up? What's up, YouTube? My name is Ben. I'm here to talk to you about the truth about gambling addiction. I think we need to have stronger regulatory efforts in place across the board here in the United States, both in land-based casinos and in online casinos. Gambling addiction is a really bad problem. I've struggled with addiction in my life. I did some wild, crazy stuff when I was younger. Like everybody does wild, crazy stuff when they're younger, but having struggled with all different types of addictions and been in some really deep, dark places, I can tell you that gambling is the worst addiction of all. And it's a crisis. I think it's a crisis. You know, I'm at a crossroads in my life right now. I've been doing internet marketing for casinos for a long time, and that's how I made my income. I think somewhere I felt bad. I knew maybe someone had a gambling problem and maybe they lost their house, and I made money because of it. That's not, that doesn't feel good, and something that's very unusual about me. I feel very blessed to have been born this way. I came into the world knowing my purpose. That's unique. My mom talked to me when I was in her womb. When I was still in her belly, she used to tell me how I was going to do good things for people and how I was going to help people in this world. And somehow or another, as a little baby, as a little embryo, your brain is able to process it and digest it and comprehend it, even in the womb, because I knew from the time I was a kid that that's what I was here to do. And it's not because she told me as a kid. She didn't tell me that. She didn't tell me as a child in that way that she did when I was in her womb. So I'm way off track here, but we're supposed to be talking about gambling addiction. So we need stronger regulatory efforts in place. I've played in land-based casinos in not most of the states, but in many of the states throughout the United States. And I don't believe regulations are either they're not being enforced properly. There's some oversights that are overlooking certain things, and so they're not effective with their current structure. Or hopefully it's not like a corruption payoff. You never know. I can tell you this. I'm a brilliant card counter. The best. So much so that when I was first getting into high stakes gambling, before I realized what a dark world it was, I thought I was going to make a lot of money real quick. I had already played blackjack a long time. When I was young, my dad had taught me how to count cards because he liked math. and I liked math. Mathematics was something we were both good at, natural at. And my dad liked the math of blackjack. He liked that blackjack, if you knew how to count cards, you could get a 0.5% advantage in your favor. Only game in the casino like that, right? And so, he taught me that at a young age. I started playing blackjack at a young age. I started going on the casino boats at 18 years old and started gambling real money. I got involved in the internet 20 years ago with the marketing casinos. I found a lot of success with it, fortunately, early on. Made a lot of money with it, fortunately, early on. Worked real hard at it too, And when I put my mind to something and I get serious about doing something, then I'm going to get it done. I'm going to do it. Like right now, I'm in the middle of what is hopefully a 105-hour work run with no sleep. And the reason I'm going for that 105-hour work run is one time in the gambling addiction darkness stage, I played blackjack for 104 hours, no sleep, for more than 4 days awake with no sleep. What a waste of time, what a waste of money, what madness. And it's still a little madness what I'm doing now, trying to break 105 hours. But for me, it's not, because one, I'm going to replace that negative event of the 104 hours of blackjack with a positive event of 105 hours of working. And two, the online gaming business is super competitive, one of the most on the internet. And for all intents and purposes, for most people entering into the search engine optimization aspect of the online gaming business is just not a very realistic effort, because of the amount of resources and costs and knowledge that's required to put it all together and then compete against companies that have billions of dollars and thousands of employees. And so I work and I work and I work, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in the middle of 100. It's going to be 105 hours when I quit. Right now, I am 37 hours. So, anyway, guys, let's get some gambling regulations in place that protect problem gamblers. Let's get some gambling regulations in place that prevent the casinos from cheating both problem gamblers and non-problem gamblers and your average Joe. They get cheated too for the most part. And let's legitimize the industries further than they are, because they need it. I know that wasn't a lot about gambling addiction. It is what it is. It's a live stream. I've never done that before. There's fortunately one person viewing, if any. That might just be me. It probably is. But this is almost 10 minutes, so I'm going to hang up. Just to recap, I've battled almost every type of addiction there is, and of all of them, gambling is the darkest. It's the most difficult to come back from. It's the most depressing and isolating and destructive, and we need better controls in place. So it's a regulation issue in addition to a gambling addiction issue, because we need better controls in place for problem gamblers, and we need better controls in place to prevent casinos from cheating people, and that's it. And